Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Here is your commute forecast. As we head home, there's wind that will be increasing, but not to the magnitude that I expected as we go through. We're going to look at winds. We're going to look at the forecast. We're going to look at your snow reports. We'll have some photos in there. Oh, and a look ahead because there were two clippers coming our way with another one Friday night into Saturday. Your forecast begins right now.
A Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, thanks again for joining me, meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. And I got to tell you what, the gustiest of the winds slid through Bismarck, where we had gusts around 50 miles per hour down into South Dakota. Now they're heading into central and southern parts of Nebraska with 50-mile-per-hour gusts there. We have missed those, and that's a blessing with the light, fluffy snow that we have across the area at this point. But the winds are as strong as they've been all day. The peak winds are making their way in. We'll look at the forecast. Here's a look at a few wind gusts. Notice the lull taking place across central Minnesota as the storm system is on its way to the south and to the east right now. But gusts in Fargo are at a peak right now. 33-mile-per-hour gusts in Jamestown and the James River Valley as well, blowing some of that fresh fall and flakiness around the area. And we'll take a quick bonus look at the satellite loop before the sun sets. This is visible satellite. You see the edge of the clouds crystal clear out to the west. The white you see there, that's snow on the ground. That's snow on the ground with clear skies and calming wind. That's the perfect recipe. No, not for lutefisk. No, not at all. That's a perfect recipe for as cold as we get. Some mighty cold temperatures are on their way for tonight as the skies clear. There's the main beef of the storm. You can see the depth of the clouds even appears thicker because of the shadows cast by the thicker clouds on the shallower, lower cloud tops moving across the Minnesota and Iowa border at this time. So that's what's going on there. What's going on elsewhere? Let's take a look at the other radar here and get to a look at the warnings. We still have the winter storm warning in effect until about the 6 o'clock hour for most of the area. That does include Fargo, Grand Forks, straight down into the Twin Cities, but it's only in effect for the next little bit. Notice the radar still hopping out there. Let's go in just a little bit closer. There is a band of snow on the Highway 200 corridor that's making its way southward. Remember in the forecast, I said if one of these sets up and kind of lingers in any location for any length of time, it could easily pop another inch or two of snow because of the temperatures that we have. So as this is loading up, you see its movement over the last hour to 2 hours just creeping right along. But at least it is moving. And it's not a stationary band of snow. So it's going to add a little bit more snow to our totals that we have here across the area. So let's take a look at our snowfall reports that have been shared by you. Let me go ahead and look in my pocket for them here. Where did they go? Pedro, do you have that? No, Pedro does not have them. Here's some of the latest reports. Okay, updates for you. Lakota. Whoops, I've got to get on the right screen here so you can join me. All right, 9 inches. That's a National Weather Service report in Lakota. Pelican Rapids, John just letting me know. 4.5 inches so far in that area. There could be a little bit more, John, in your area of northwestern parts of Otter Tail County. The Grand Forks Air Base earlier had 7 inches, and you see the batch that's just moving down out of there. I want to thank Valerie for that report. Rogers, 8 inches. Mary, thank you for your report. Ransom, Fort Ransom, that is, 6 inches of snow reported from the National Weather Service report there. Clearbrook, Minnesota, 3, and Hawley, Minnesota, 3 inches reported. Gene, thank you for your Clearbrook report. You want to see a few more here that we got. Some of these were from earlier, and they will go up. Hey, the Twin Cities has reports from 2 inches to 7 inches of snow on the ground. We'll show you more on that in just a second. And look at this. Pembina, 7.1 inches of snow. That fluffy, flaky nonsense has worked its way down to Langdon, Drayton, 6 inches. Max out there to the west. That's between Minot and Bismarck on Highway 83. And that's a 6-inch wonder there as well. So that's a look at some of the snowfall totals there. And there's a couple of more just because. 6.5 Carlstead, Emmerich at 7 inches, Grand Forks 4 inches. Allison measured that one not far from the National Weather Service forecast office, and this was earlier in the afternoon, so I'm going to be interested in seeing where we end up. Can do, 7.5 inches reported there. New Rockford from the National Weather Service report in your area, 6 inches. That's a half a foot unless you're talking about Hutch's feet. Okay, that gets us through this step of a neck of the woods. Now let's take a look at the forecast real quickly because we're talking about snowfall reports. And let's go to hutchesweather.com because you know why? It's awful fun to take a look at snowfall reports elsewhere across the region with this tool that we have on hutchesweather.com. So this is specifically going to use a tool on the website to show you how powerful hutchesweather.com is. Interactive radar, but see the snowfall amounts? Go ahead, join me now if you have your laptop handy or your computer. Hit the snowfall amounts button and see what happens. What you're going to notice is it's going to open up a map. This is operated by the National Weather Service. Where you see yellow dots, those are the higher snowfall amounts in our area. Hover your mouse over the top of them. It'll give you the location of the report, 9 inches in Lakota. We just told you that. The blue dots generally are 6 inches and less as we go through. Here's what I wanted to highlight. All the way to the Twin Cities, rough and tumble conditions right down into Minneapolis and St. Paul. This is extended into Wisconsin and not far from Rochester, where we had 4 to 8 inches of snow. Where's that 8-inch report? That is in Arcadia, Wisconsin, out there. Now, this snow system is working its way into southern parts of Wisconsin now with its snow, and we see another batch moving through. But it's just a tool on hutchesweather.com for you to keep your eyes on the skies. Another tool, woohoo! We got us some pictures that you've uploaded here. I'll take a quick look at a couple of these and then we're going to get back to some details on this wind forecast. But it's awful fun and it's always a pleasure for you to share with me your reports. And really you're sharing them with everybody because by going to hutchesweather.com, scrolling to the bottom of the page, or clicking right here where it says viewer picks, you can peruse through. Here is a look at the Glencoe area, a report there. Thank you, BA. 4 inches of snow. This is south and west of the Twin Cities area, and that's the snow blower, and that puppy got a nice little workout. Beth, thank you very much for your report there. Here's another report. This is likely not from the area. No, it's not. It's Tucson in the backyard. I think I see a scorpion. What? Okay, check this out. That's over 6 inches. Looks like 6.5 inches. Rural Gary, Minnesota. That's some shovel trouble right there. Thanks for sharing that, Angela. Appreciate it very, very much. Another measurement from the Glencoe area of the 4 inches of snowblower-worthy snow. Here's the tabletop out there, and you know, some of our snow today just fell like snow globe snow, so you can measure it on decks and patios. But as the wind picks up, that'll get a little harder. This is Lemoore, North Dakota. Karen, thank you so very much for sharing your report and so many others you can peruse here. This was an early morning one as the sun was fixing to rise. Grand Forks says 4 inches near the industrial park. And that's the one that we had in my report there. Hey, upload your photos today and I'll share them with everybody and you share them with everybody. Thank you so very much. All right, let's take a look at this forecast and talk about the wind. Woo, that wind blows. And I mean that just exactly how it sounds. And it's not as strong here. It's moving through South Dakota. So on this particular map here, what you're looking at are isobars. These lines, these black lines, the closer they get together, not the county lines here, but these long spaghetti looking pieces that are winding their way through. The closer they are together, the gustier the winds. As we carry this into time, you notice the isobars are a lot farther apart up to the northwest part of North Dakota. The storm is all but done there. Road conditions are improving. We'll show you that to close because there's some amazing photos and pictures from across the region. The wind stays windy until after 10 o'clock tonight. Here's 10 o'clock right there. Then we'll start seeing it decrease. If you are in Bottineau, if you are in Towner County, in Rock Lake or Can-Do, your 7 inches of snow should stop blowing around as much because we're going to see a decrease in your winds first. So winds decreasing west to east, still some snow showers here and there, but those two will be winding down as we cross towards 6Z, which is midnight. And this is your Friday morning. No clippers seen here yet for Friday. This is high pressure, and that's cold high pressure that'll be working its way in. Coming up here in just mere moments at 4:30, we get to introduce you to Hutch's Weather Kid. And this is from the showroom floor at Luther Family Ford. So now that we've taken a look at your wind forecast and we'll look at a little bit more, I want to remind you, I would love for you to tune in right here at 4:30 for the debut of this young man, Paxton Persons from Kennedy Elementary School. Hey, do you want to sign up to be a weather kid with Hutch? I'd love to have you. You can swing right into Luther Family Ford, and you can go to hutchesweather.com. Click on the Weather Kid link there. You can sign up right online as well. And I'd love to have you help me figure out this wild weather that we have. Kids, ages 9 to 18. Love to have you on board. Okay, now let's get back to the forecast facts as we are looking through the next couple of days. I'm going to go off to another model and show you just the impact of this little weather wiggle that will be wobbling its way through as we take a look at this model. Now, I want to show a more regional view for a reason. We're going to sneak a peek at what we're expecting as we head toward your Christmas holiday. Here's our exiting storm system zipping out of here. There's the clipper I'm talking about. Look at that. Northeast Montana, northwest North Dakota, some widespread snow, briefly moderate, maybe heavy out there. This is the high pressure system that sticks around in the valley all day long, meaning quiet winds. We'll see an increase in clouds in our western counties. We're talking the Missouri River Valley and the James River Valley. For us, we'll see a fair amount of sunshine out there as we go through a very frigid day that I'll have the facts on. Notice what happens to that snow as it pushes down into the James River Valley. It dries up like a water well in Montana in the 80s. If you know, you know. All right, taking a look at this, we're going to have south winds bringing the warmth. See the red lines here? That's a bulge of warm air that starts punching into the western counties first this weekend. We will see those south winds in our area. That south wind will start bringing air with more humidity over the frozen tundra of the north, and that means fog in the forecast to Hutch. You can't see it on this map, but I've been around the block before, and I think we're going to have areas of fog as we go into the latter part of the forecast period. Here's a little weather wiggle making its way through. It doesn't look too significant at this time. I'll keep my eyes on it. I'm doing that. All right, now as we head into Tuesday, traveling as you go into the morning on Christmas Eve looks very quiet. But again, because of temperatures and because of what's going on in our area, there'll be some patchy fog in our area on Tuesday morning. Wednesday morning, more south wind. That's warm air moving over a frozen surface. That's more fog. So that does mean that Santa will need the help of, do you know how Santa could get help seeing through the fog overnight? Oh, that one reindeer with the glowy nosy. Yeah, Rudolph. That'll be great. It's a good thing that Rudolph is involved here because that will help out in a great deal. Hey, Blue Blob over the house says BA on the comments here. That's the chance of snow, and it's working its way over you once again. Wind is picking up in the Bemidji area and still snowing. Sometimes these don't show up the greatest on the radar. We'll close with a look at that. This is a look at your forecast, though. Let me see. I'm sorry. Here is Christmas Day. Christmas Day. Notice what's moving out of the Rocky Mountains. So on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, the Rockies will have some snow. The West Coast will have some snow. A little bit of unsettled weather across the eastern half with some rain showers. It's after the holiday as we go toward the late week, Thursday and into Friday. We'll have some weather to think of and watch of across the area, including the Pacific Northwest, which looks a little bit stormy there. So for travelers, that's what you need to know. Now, let's see if we have any other questions. Thank you very much. Angela, thank you for your kind words. I sure do appreciate it. Joanne, wind picking up in the Bemidji area. Thank you very much. High is the planes going to be able to take off around 8. Roxy, you'll have to check with where your airport is and see if there's delays and cancellations. We still have the windiest of the wind that's going to make its way through. You can go to Hector departures and you should be able to see what's going on if you're flying out of Hector, but that's based on the area that you're flying out of. So I'll let you know that I can't answer that question. You'll have to go to your airline or the website for Hector. They have a great tool there for you. Gene, snow has fallen again in Clearbrook. Thank you very much. I had your report on. Thank you so much. Bill had your report on from Rendezvous Park in West Fargo, and you're going to send that report, and I always appreciate your reports, Glenn. I said Glenn, I meant Bill. Angel says, hey, Hutch, up in Badger, it's snowing and blowing. Okay, let's get to the road reports now. So this is what you need to know for the roads, and then we'll get you out of here. This is the area where there's a travel alert. There's no travel advisories. We do have icy roads across a large segment of North Dakota. I don't see a lot of tabs here that show asterisks, which means or W's, which is events. I don't see a lot of that, so that's a good sign here with regards to crashes. What do the roads look like? Let's take a quick peek in North Dakota at a couple of roads. Let's go I-29 between Grand Forks and Fargo, and we can see that the roads definitely have some blech on them. Okay, that's a technical term. Oh, I do see an incident that's just reported here north of Grand Forks in the in Walsh County, in the eastern reaches of Walsh County. A crash on northbound I-29. Slow it down, folks. It's better to arrive safe if you can. There are icy spots on North Dakota roads. I-94 near Valley City, sometimes that can be a little rough. The wind will be dying from west to east. Right now, we still have some gusts out there that are respectable and around 33 miles per hour in that area. So keep that in mind. There'll be some crosswinds out of the north on that side. How about south of Fargo on 29? As we get down here near the Morton exit, we definitely have snow that is blowing across the road. This is I-29, which runs north-south, so that means we still have an east-west component to the wind here as we go through the day. It has not yet become a north wind in this area. All right, let's take a quick look at Minnesota and South Dakota. So let's start with Minnesota. A couple of pointers on this one is the simple fact that we had a core of this storm system first thing this morning that really took over the event and really brought some heavy snow to the I-90 corridor and southern parts of Minnesota today. A lot of pink on the roads here means they're completely covered. But more importantly, more of us are traveling that I-94 route between Alexandria and the Twin Cities. Do you see all these asterisks here? Crash, crash, crash. Alexandria zone here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 crashes showing up here. What causes that? Roads that look like this can cause that. This is a rest stop, though. The road itself is not quite this bad. Let's see if I can get a peek of that. Nope, that camera must be iced up. Okay, we have another crash outside of Alexandria. This camera here showing just a little bit of what looks like wet roads there, but certainly it's icy. And you know what? Traffic around the Twin Cities as you get out of Alexandria and towards St. Cloud can be a little bit more challenging. So as we get down towards St. Cloud, the number of crashes really increases here heading into St. Joe's. So as you're going in toward the Twin Cities here, it does look like you're going to be dealing with some wild and woolly weather. And on the south side of the metro areas where we saw some ridiculous snowfall amounts, here's a look at the traffic in the Twin Cities right now. And the interstates, as you see the vehicles rolling here, looking like we're having I-35 and I-35W with some snow and slush on area roads. Traffic in the Twin Cities, I'm glad I'm not traveling around there. Now, the snow did spread all the way into the southern part of Minnesota as you go down through Rochester. Here's a look in Madison. So Madison was not Wisconsin. Madison Avenue on Highway 22 as we look down in the southern part of Minnesota here has some real gooey roads, right? That looks pretty sloppy. It almost looks like it's a little bit more of a wet snow as well. So that's what's going on there. And now as we go down into that Rochester zone, let's see what's going on in Rochester. We do have some roads that show up as red. Look at this. Okay. The snow bands in southern Minnesota continue. It's it's pink colored road because we do have some snow covered roads there as well. So definitely some tricky travel across the state of Minnesota from I-94 between Fargo and the Twin Cities. A number of crashes have been reported. I did say South Dakota gets some coverage because you know what? Some of those really ripping winds made their way into South Dakota as we headed into the afternoon hours. We had gusts over 50 miles per hour buffet the area. Those 50-mile-per-hour winds are now heading down into Nebraska right now. But look at the eastern one half from Redfield, from Pierre, right in the Missouri River Valley, straight out to the I-29 corridor. We have a lot of rough and tumble roads. So if you are traveling I-29, here's a peek at what it looks like in Watertown. Reduced visibility, shiny roads. You can see the headlights shining. And that's not likely all wet. It's likely some ice on the roads as well. So keep in mind, South Dakota seeing temperatures down in the teens. Once we get down below about 12 degrees, the the brine solution that's put on roads and the salt solution stop becoming effective or stop being effective, and it just becomes ice. So keep that in mind, that once you start seeing your vehicle's thermometer go below 32, you got to watch out. But if it's down below 12, you're just going to hit ice. So that's what you need to know. Sounds like I've got some pictures rolling in here on Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. Let's go ahead and take another look at the radar here. I'm loading that up over on this side. All right, let's see what we got. Oh my goodness, yes, I see the snow, and it's coming around the bend. And I ain't seen this kind of snow since I don't know when. After the last winter, it was pretty quiet around these parts, but that's not the case right now. So the Highway 2 corridor all the way from Devil's Lake to Grand Forks, seeing a batch of snow moving out of Oslo. This will be drifting southward as we head into the evening, while we have clearing skies out west of Devil's Lake and quieter conditions. Looking at some snowfall reports, here's a 5-inch report average of measurements. So we definitely do have some snow making its way through Hankinson, a little batch of clouds and snow making its way through there. The main event, though, Mankato down into southern Minnesota and the southern Twin Cities, getting another round of snow to add insult to injury. This snow went right through La Crosse. It wasn't expected to be as bad as it was in those areas down in towards Madison, Wisconsin, where right now we have some pretty healthy snow working its way through. So that's a look. Let me see if I get any more questions here. I think that's a pretty complete coverage of our event. Let's go to your 7-day planner. Still snowing in Gonvik, Carrie. I hope things are going good. Today is your birthday, Ashley. Happy birthday to you, and I hope somebody else is shoveling for you. I shoveled, I snowblowed, and now I looked outside and I have to do it again. Oh my gosh. Look what the cat dragged in. Okay, thanks a lot, cat. All right, now let's take a look at your 7-day planner, and then we will put this one to rest so we can get out on time to introduce you to tonight's weather kit. I'm very excited to do that. Here's your 7-day planner. This is what you need to know. Our second clipper, which I'll go over a little bit more later. We're 11 below in Fargo for the morning temperature. I know it's colder than everybody has been you've been seeing, but I'm telling you, when we clear out by morning, it's going to be cold, and it will be even colder in central parts of North Dakota. So if you're in Towner County, Devil's Lake Basin, anywhere up north that got 7 or more inches of snow, I'm telling you, you're going to be cold. This includes Foster and Eddy counties all the way up through Wells County and into the Minot area. I'm expecting some 20 below readings, okay? So it's going to be really tooth-chipping cold out there with windy Thursday night conditions lasting until after midnight. After that, we calm down, and there's the crazy cold in your forecast. We warm up to only 3 as that high-pressure system sits over us. We're clear most of the day with a few clouds building in late from the west. We may see a flake here in our southern and western counties. I don't think Fargo sees much from this, maybe a spit. That's it. But it'll be flakes, not spit, as we'll have temperatures that'll be below 0 briefly Friday night, but then rising into the morning, 12 on Saturday. Now, the fog sets in each and every day until you see the help of Rudolph is going to make things a little easier for the Jolly Elf as he makes his way through the region overnight. Fog, don't worry, kids. That's not going to slow down the Jolly Elf. Santa is going to be making his rounds. And it does look like we could have some, maybe Sunday night, snow showers as the cold air exits and the warm air comes in. Those are what Hutch likes to refer to as growing pains. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. How much snow in Hallock? I have not gotten a report, Clayton. I would love to have a report. The closest I saw was up in that Cavalier area in Pembina, 7.1 inches there. Provide a report. That would be great. Stick a ruler in the ground. Let me know what you got. Otherwise, stay tuned. When I get the information, you'll know next. All right, thanks for watching. Follow me on Facebook, and we'll see